As you know that election is coming up, and October 16 is the day when we vote for municipal election. And we vote for mayor, we vote for councillors, and we vote for school trustees. And there are different wards. Now we have Ward G trustee with us, candidate Bridget Stirling. She was a trustee before as well. Bridget, welcome to our program.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
You took over from Sarah Hoffman.
In 2015 in the by-election.
Bridget, you joined the Edmonton Public School Board after Sarah Hoffman was elected to provincial politics. It's been over 2 years now. How was your experience so far?
You know, it's been a really wonderful experience. There are very few things that are better than going to work every day and knowing that your work benefits children. You know, there are a lot of things you don't expect when you become a trustee. There are more parts to the job than I think most people know. I had to learn to think about a budget that was much larger than anything I'd thought about before. It's $1.1 billion, and to be responsible for this year about 100,000 children, it's a big responsibility, but it's been really, really meaningful, and I think we've had some important accomplishments. I'm looking forward to, it was very fun to open Sven Hansen School, and I'm really looking forward to our new school in Larkspur. I think that's going to be a big benefit to our community, and it's nice to see the work that we do at the board translate into action that matters for families.
What do you think, why people should come out and vote? A big chunk of our property tax goes into our education funding, and school boards are responsible for that. So what is the importance? Why should people, or especially parents, why should they come out and vote for a trustee of their choice?
Absolutely. Well, we are responsible for a very large budget. Our budget in Edmonton Public Schools is $1.1 billion, and the whole city of Edmonton budget is $1 billion. So it's actually larger than the city budget. And that's funded not only through your property tax, but also through your provincial taxes. But I think it's also important for parents to vote because what we do in schools affects what programs your children can get. So if you want your child to have a space in Kogado, or you'd like to see a new language program, all of those things matter. So we make those decisions. But I also think our schools are important to more than just parents, right? They're important to grandparents and to aunts and uncles. If you own a home in a community, having a school there makes your house, more attractive to people, and it brings more families into your neighborhood. And our schools also offer other services to the community, adult continuing education, or English language education through Metro, and many more things. And so I think it touches on everybody's life.
Well, you said very right. In provincial and federal elections, there is only one agenda to follow. But in municipal elections, there are three different agendas. The mayor is there, councillors are there, and school board trustees are there. And as you said, your budget is more than the city has, school boards. So the importance of education and why parents and you said grandparents, aunts and uncles, they should be involved. So what's your message for everybody to come out and vote on October 16?
Well, I think our public education is such an important part of our communities and our lives. One of the things my grandmother always told me when I was growing up is education is the one thing that nobody ever takes away from you, right? It's yours for your lifetime. And so I think you should vote for your school board trustee because it's also making a decision about the future of your child's education and the future of our community. Sometimes it seems less important than mayor or city council, but in some ways our work is some of the most important because it's the work that builds our future.
Since you're involved in this process of education at the school level and at post-secondary level, is there a correlation between school level and post-secondary education? Since kids jump from the school system to post-secondary, do you see any correlation there?
Absolutely. So for school districts, post-secondary education are our partners, right? We work very closely with them. Not only are we wanting to prepare students to be able to pursue whatever post-secondary education matters to them, but also our universities train the teachers and the other people who work in our schools, the librarians, The colleges often train our support staff and the tradespeople who take care of our schools. And so we actually have a very close relationship. I think we should think about education as starting in early childhood before a child ever goes to school and lasting through our whole lives. And so the relationship between our school districts and universities and colleges is very close.
We often say that bridging the gap is most important thing. And being a parent myself, I understand the first year in college or university is very awkward for students there. They don't know what they are going into. Schools in high school, do they prepare students to go into post-secondary education, or is it up to the post-secondary education to train them?
Well, we're actually working harder now to prepare students for university or college or any other post-secondary. So some of the things we're doing is we're starting much earlier on the work that we call career pathways, which helps students start to think very early in elementary school already about the things they might like to do in their lives. And when they get into high school, we have now added success coaches in schools who help work with students to figure out what courses they need to take and what pathways they need to get to university. But that said, once a student arrives at university, it can feel very large and unfamiliar sometimes. You know, you go to NAIT or to MacEwan or the University of Alberta, and they're very big campuses. And so I think it's also important for families and parents to help them prepare for that. And we try when we can to give students experiences of visiting those places as well so that they feel more familiar, right? We'd like them to have a chance to go and see the post-secondary institutions so that they don't feel like such strange places when they arrive.
You have very large area in your riding, and there's a various immigrant groups living in that areas there, South Asians, others. Any particular message that you have for them to come and vote on October 16, not stay home, please come and vote?
Yeah, so I think often when people are new, they don't know where they vote or how they vote. So I think it's very important to get educated on that process and how to go and where to go. See if, and they can help you understand the process if you need to. But I think it is very, very important for new communities to come out and vote. If you're a newcomer to Canada and you now have your citizenship and can vote for the first time, I think it's an important opportunity to have your say and to participate. And I think often when communities aren't participating, sometimes their voices aren't heard in the process. And I think it's very, very important that everybody's voice is heard and everyone's voice matters. And that's an important part of our democracy. And every Canadian, whether they're new or they've been here, for many generations, should be part of that process.